Hi, welcome. It's time for my state of my art for this week, and I'm sorry that it took me so long to get to this, but I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do in the new year, and so I have a little plan now of what I'm going to be doing in 2026. I don't know where the time has gone in my life. It was last century, and then it was this century. And now we're even at 2026. So it's been quite an adventure. But, anyways, welcome. I am Maude in Art, also known as Susan Maude Bookser, uh, somehow Lahaki. And my plan for the new year is that I would like to get started on the sculpture park that I'm planning on this property that I have in Newburgh, West Virginia. And I am planning sort of a life, family, motherhood sort of park, inspirational park. Mother and child type of thing. The Mother's Day holiday that is celebrated all over the world now started actually in West Virginia, in a town neighboring, or almost neighboring, just like 2 towns away, in West Virginia. This was started by a woman in, I believe it's Grafton, West Virginia, and Newburgh is not far away. So, I had this land and I was inspired by Niki de St and her tarot gardens in in Italy, north of Rome. And then there's also this monster park that was her inspiration. It's from the Renaissance, and it also is quite inspiring and fun. And so these two things really inspired me to think maybe of doing my own sculpture park, and that is exactly what I'm planning on doing over the next 20 years. So also, there's a sculpture park in Barcelona by, I think his name is Gruel. I don't know his first name's not coming to me. Anyways, it's yeah, there are lots of sculpture parks, and it's I think it's a good one to put like a mother and woman sculpture park near where Mother's Day began, and so that's what I'm gonna do. I am planning on taking people to see some examples of sculpture parks, the ones that have inspired Niki and then also inspired me next year, probably in May. So if you think you might want to go with me and have a look at the sculpture parks in Italy that are just north of Rome, and then maybe also spend one day at the Vatican to look at the Michelangelos there and the Raphaels, let me know. I'm looking for people who want to join me, and I can show you around and we can get inspired together and build some sculptures and monuments to women and mothers, and yeah, things that we don't necessarily have a lot of currently. So yeah, and the other thing too is it's a Venice Biennale time for art. Last year was architecture, this year it's art, and I'm also going to be going in May. So if you're interested, get in contact with me soon if you want to join me. Yeah. And then I might also take, if we have too many people, there might be then a June trip down to see the Tarot Gardens by Niki and the Monster Garden from the Renaissance and the Vatican. Yeah, if you so that might be in June, and then at a later time I might do one in September. Yeah, might do one in September. Okay, so what I'm doing is getting my sculpture park together. So I'm also not finding my notes that I made. Let me see. I'm naturally looking for investors too, because I only have so much money myself, and so I need investors. And I may do a GoFundMe page. In the U.S., I have a not-for-profit foundation, which so if you want a tax deduction, there's that. Then there's the non-tax deduction format, also in the USA, and then I have a European Swiss account too, where you can make a donation. So these things are all possible. So a women's park, sculpture park. It's going to be from N-Art USA and N-Art Switzerland GmbH, and also Modern Art Foundation. And then the trip to Italy will also be sort of part of the excitement, I guess. Then I'm working here in Switzerland at my studio on a 4-dimensional smile cloud, going into, they seem to, the scientists like to say that 4 dimensions look in a certain way. And I think somebody once designed a model of something. The words aren't. I wasn't ready to talk about this. I'm not going to go into detail actually, so I'll just leave it at that. I'm trying to figure out what the 4th dimension really is. I don't think the scientists have it right. They're trying to use things, or at least what's out there currently is a format of science that leads to a belief in a god. And so I think we need to break down the dimensions a bit more than what they're doing. And they're just randomly throwing in things to certain dimensions and then others not, and it's not really making sense. And I don't think the scientists can prove the things that they really say that they can prove. So I'm going to investigate 4 dimensions. So right now I always call myself I'm a 2 and 3 dimensional artist, but actually I would say I go all the way to 8 dimensions. But right now I'm going to try and sort of prove or disprove the God dimension theory. I think that's really what it is. So yeah, so I'm going to be working on that this year in Etzgen in Switzerland, and hopefully I will have that ready at some point in May or June, and then people can come and have a 4-dimensional experience at my art studio, showroom, and storage area. And then I'm also going to be starting up in the spring at the American Women's Club here in Zurich a life drawing course setup where you can be a model if you want. If you don't draw, you can be my model, and I'll draw you. And then if you are an artist or somebody who wants to learn or wants to attempt drawing a person, you can also join and draw. So please contact me if you want to be a model. It'll probably start in April or end of March, even perhaps end of March, beginning of April, and then maybe one day in May and something in June, and then not until September and November, December will anything else happen. And then Zurich Unterland Coffee. I used to run that for the Zurich International Women's Association, but it kind of fell apart, and I would like to revise that and get that going again. So any ladies in Zurich Unterland, if you want to join me for coffee in April, May, June, or September, and November, please let me know. In December. Okay, so I don't know if there's more that I can say at this moment. Yeah. I'm excited for the new year. As you know, I'm still waiting for the Supreme Court to make a ruling on my lawsuit. And so that's still in the works too. And I have not conceded the presidential election. So I am still a presidential candidate from the 2024 presidential election. And as far as I know, they still have not counted my vote, a U.S. citizen in the USA. They made some excuse, some organization that is not official in my mind. Somebody said, hey, no, we're not counting her vote, even though I am a U.S. citizen. I am of age. I'm a resident. I voted in the right place. I spent more or less an hour voting, give or take a few minutes. And yeah, this is how you get treated as a U.S. citizen in your own country. Nice. I mean, living abroad, somebody was voting for me too. So, in theory, I haven't voted in an election in a long time because they keep throwing my votes out and giving them to somebody else. Nothing like a country with integrity, right? Okay, so my real artwork is fighting this. There's so many levels and layers of lies and cheating. It's just unreal. And, I got into the concept of running for president, which was to promote peace. And peace between people and peace between genders. And I don't know if I'm achieving that. I mean, I'm not president, but I'm still working at peace. I don't know, maybe I can achieve it better by not being president. I don't know. We're working on it. So, but that was the point, was to bring peace. And we don't have peace yet. And we still have a lot of people hurting. Yeah. I got a lot in the works. I'm still working on the women getting paid to be mothers concept. And I'm still working on my Smile for Peace, It's Enough Already concept. So although some of it's political, it's still all art related as well. And yeah. So that's my video for today. I don't know what else to say. I don't have anything special to show you. I guess here I can show you. No. Well, let's see. Do I have something? Yeah, so I'm working at using books. So there we go. All right. So that's it for now. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll be putting more information out very soon. And if you know, it's first come, first serve, first basis, first get to do it. If you are interested when I put out my activities, then please sign up so that we can move forward together. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good day wherever you are, and I'll see you next week.